As of October 16, 2025, Hamas has not returned all of the dead Israeli hostages to Israel, a direct violation of the U.S.-brokered Gaza ceasefire agreement. Under the ceasefire's first phase, Hamas was required to hand over all 28 deceased hostages. But so far, only 9 bodies have been returned, and one of those, according to Israeli forensic experts, wasn't even a hostage. Hamas claims it has returned all the bodies it can currently access, saying destruction across Gaza has made recovery impossible without heavy equipment. The group insists it remains committed to fulfilling the deal. But Israeli officials are accusing Hamas of stalling, and President Donald Trump has warned that if Hamas continues delaying, Israel could resume military operations. All 20 living hostages have been released as scheduled. But 19 deceased hostages are still unaccounted for in Gaza. Meanwhile, inside Gaza, Hamas has turned its weapons inward. Since mid-October, Hamas has carried out a wave of executions, raids, and mass arrests, targeting Palestinians accused of collaborating with Israel or the West. According to Reuters, BBC, The Wall Street Journal, and The Telegraph, at least 33 Palestinians have been executed, some publicly following revolutionary court rulings by Hamas. Victims include rival faction members and clan leaders linked to Western NGOs or the Palestinian Authority. Human rights groups like Amnesty International and Al-Mazin have condemned the killings as extrajudicial executions and heinous crimes. Analysts say Hamas is trying to reassert control after losing territory and influence during the war, deploying thousands of fighters to purge Gaza of outlaws and collaborators. At the White House, President Trump said these killings show chaos inside Gaza, warning he would authorize U.S. strikes if Hamas doesn't stop the executions and disarm. According to Reuters, The Washington Post, and Le Monde, Hamas's crackdowns violate the ceasefire's first phase terms, which required an end to armed operations and disarmament of militias in populated areas. The violence has also disrupted aid deliveries and prisoner exchange logistics. Gunmen have seized key crossings, blocking UN and Red Crescent convoys. Israel's defense minister Israel Katz has warned that if Hamas continues to breach the truce, Israel will resume fighting. President Trump echoed the warning, Hamas must not use this peace to silence or kill opponents. He cautioned that new U.S. military operations are on the table if the ceasefire fails. Israel has also tightened humanitarian restrictions on Gaza, citing Hamas's failure to return the hostages' bodies. Rafah crossing closed, aid trucks halted. Aid cut by half, from 600 to 300 trucks per day. Commercial goods banned as sanctions on Hamas. Humanitarian organizations and the United Nations are urging Israel to reopen crossings, warning of severe shortages of food, water, and medicine. Behind every headline lies a deeper struggle, one of power, control, and survival. Hamas faces growing isolation and internal dissent. Israel faces pressure to respond without reigniting full-scale war. And millions of civilians are caught in between, exhausted by a conflict with no clear end in sight. As one analyst put it, the ceasefire may have stopped the rockets but not the reckoning. For Studio BB, separating fact from fiction one story at a time.